So a couple of months back, I had the greatest idea to go ahead and rank some Sonic villains. Which is what I'm going to be going over today, man. Growing up, I had a different type of love for Sonic. It was almost an obsession. I mean, I still go crazy over it to this day. The second I hear a new game is coming out, I don't even hesitate to run straight to my PC and cop that shit immediately. I'm a fan. Even when I was dead broke, I was still buying Sonic games. I was a little bit addicted. I mean, could you blame me though? It's Sonic. I'm such an OG fan. I used to watch Sonic shorts all the time as a kid on YouTube. And even remember those famous Sonic X AMVs. You know, the ones that went, do you like waffles? Yeah, we like waffles. It was so tough, man. But Sonic brings together the best elements of some of the coldest shows I ever watched. Look at it this way. If I were to break down what Sonic is about to the average person, I could just tell them it's simply furry Dragon Ball Z. Furry Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, the people gonna hate me for this one. And the villains in Sonic sometimes even carry the games entirely. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be giving my 2 pence and ranking some Sonic villains based on how threatening, how cool, and how stupid they were. And also, I'm gonna use a Sonic-based ranking system too. So without further yapping, let's jump right in, man. Dr. Eggman is without question Sonic's greatest adversary. I mean, 99% of the shit that goes down in the games anyway is because of Eggman. He casually just pulls up with some of the most OP bullshit every other game. It's mad. It gets you questioning, how the hell does he lose? Because it's stupid. Let me run through some things real quick. He summoned and controlled Chaos, a being who eventually flooded an entire city, used the Eclipse cannon to blow up the moon, created a robot army and duplicates who could even rival Sonic, cloned Shadow a bunch of times, unleashed Dark Guy on the planet which destroyed the Earth, controlled time and space at one point, and even created a prototype of the Phantom Ruby, which literally controls reality. And he made a bunch of them too, even giving one to Infinite. And this isn't even everything he's done. Any major new villain in the story, there's like a 50% chance they exist because of Eggman. The man is a genius and without a doubt a giant threat. Besides his goofy looking character design and fat self, I really do think people don't give Eggman enough credit. Like shit, he tried to kill Sonic in Sonic Adventure 2. The only reason why Sonic is alive is because of plot. And at one point in one of the older games, Sonic couldn't even catch up to the guy. This shit was hilarious, man. This is the same guy who built an entire space park to harness the power of the Wisp to mind control people, which eventually backfired and led to a black hole Sonic couldn't even fully outrun. In Frontiers, he created Sage, a self-sentient AI who took control of ancient mechs to beat Sonic. And something I think about often is that with the amount of tools, resources, and entire Eggman empire by his side, he may lose to Sonic all the time, but look what he has to do to even keep up with him or challenge him on his powers. And he surprisingly manages to do alright for himself. He might get soloed, but he always ends up putting up a decent fight. And let me ask you something. Eggman in Sonic Generations was able to pilot and control the Time Eater, a being responsible for creating white space, turning everyone into statues, and was solely responsible for destroying time and space. And how in the hell did Eggman control this guy? What could he have possibly built together to even be able to harness his power? It's dumb! Eggman stays known he's a tough guy. Just look at him aura farming in Sonic Adventure 1 on his giant egg carrier. He knows he's tough, man. And it's not just modern Eggman. Even classic versions of Eggman were out here doing work like crazy. You see the cartoon Eggman from like the 90s? He literally enslaved the planet. He turned everyone into a bunch of robots. In the games, he had a giant Death Star called the Death Egg. He tricked Knuckles into stealing the Master Emerald countless times. Which isn't that hard because Knuckles is a flippin' idiot. More often than not, it takes Super Sonic to beat whatever Eggman has against him. Let that sink in real quick. But I will say another thing I've noticed about him is that Eggman will never kill this guy, man. Which is kind of dumb. Don't get me wrong, it'll probably never happen. It's 2026, everything's hella PG nowadays. But the thing that doesn't give Eggman the highest ranking for me is the lack of kill drive he has toward everyone else. Besides the one time in Sonic Adventure 2 when he potentially tried to kill Sonic, I couldn't name you another time where he tried to do that again, I'll be honest. And logically speaking, for any type of villain, why would you just, I don't know, send the hero to the gulag? It's the obvious choice. You would think by Sonic Forces, when he had complete control of the world, that he would have killed Sonic by now. But nah. You put him in jail instead. What are you doing? And by the way, at this very moment in time, the man was out here starting world wars for total domination. He was killing a bunch of random people, but he couldn't take some time out of his day to murk his biggest op. That makes no sense. I might be reaching here because at the end of the day, it's a Sonic game. It's not like anyone's killed Sonic before. That's not real. And comic Eggman, he's a demon. But with all of this being said, I'm giving Eggman a solid A rank. Definitely one of the highest I'll be giving out today, and it just makes sense. Because you know why? You want to know why? Because I'm the Eggman. Metal Sonic is personally one of my favorite Sonic characters. He's definitely a top 10, man. And even though he's technically a part of the Eggman Empire and really should have been in the Eggman section of the video, I still want to count him as his own villain anyway. Especially Neo Mel, he's tough as hell. If you're unfamiliar with the guy, Metal Sonic is a complete, perfect one-to-one copy of Sonic. A robot doppelganger designed to replicate all the same powers and abilities the main man himself already has. Like his speed, agility, endurance, ability to use the Chaos Emeralds, yada yada yada. Even having the mindset of thinking he's actually Sonic. He's delusional. But to sum up quickly, everything that Sonic can do, Metal is also somewhat able to do the same things. Strange, isn't it? And throughout all his appearances, we just see Metal elevate into his own and show off separate powers. He can make force fields defending himself, overflow of energy and charge at you with it. He even got turned into a giant robot one time. And I don't even remember why he did it. It just happened. But by far, we can all agree, Metal's greatest power is when he uses his Neo form. Neo Metal Sonic. A sentient free world version of Metal that don't listen to nobody and is undoubtedly overpowered. This man has gained the ability to copy somebody's life form they are. It already sounds busted. It means he can teeth your whole thing, man, and copy you head to toe. And it's not even just the powers he identically replicates here too. It's the user's physical ability. So for example, if Neo Metal copy both Sonic and Knuckles at the same time, he's getting both Sonic's raw speed and Knuckles' strength. His ability is literally overpowered. He used it to gain chaos control of Shadow and was able to stop time with it. Not to mention, the absolute drip this guy has in this form is insane. He be shopping at the Prada store with that fit he got on. Neo Mel has a top tier fashion game. He even got hair extensions too. That's crazy. And that's an upgrade considering that this is what it used to look like before. He had them star locks back then. That's crazy. And of course, with the form of Neo Metal, he can also go further beyond like this is my hero and transform into a Metal Overlord. A giant tech dragon that absorbed the Eggman facility. I was out here throwing whole bolts at Shadow. And he's also busted. It took Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles in super form and Shadow using his new Doom powers to even be able to beat the guy in this state. He's strong. We know Metal Sonic is strong. But as strong as he may be, the one drawback that I want to mention about him is that he's 110% loyal to Eggman. He's like Orbot and Cubot. He's there to do his Eggman wishes. No free will. So as much as I can really say Metal is cool and a sick villain, he's like Eggman's number 2. He's not self-aware. The only time Metal fought for himself was in Heroes when he became Neo Metal. He went against Eggman and decided to do his own thing. But even then in the game, Neo Metal was limited to like 5 seconds of screen time. He just turned straight to Metal Overlord. We didn't even get to see his full potential. And I hated that, man. What was the point of introducing such a dope and cold ass character? Just to take it away 5 seconds later. Sega, bring it back, man. Metal Sonic is still one of Sonic's most dangerous rivals. His lack of free will doesn't change the fact that he could still rival Sonic at times and whoop him. But the lack of it entirely makes him less of a threat than what he could be if he was able to think for himself all the time. And I want to quickly go off topic here. But you see that one comic panel of Metal realizing he's not real? It's so sad. He literally found out he's not real, man. He deserved better. Metal deserved better. And so my ranking for Metal Sonic is a B rank, man. In the future, if he does show more cases of having more free will or Neo Metal makes more appearances, then he could be way higher for me. But until then, now I ain't gonna lie, his theme is hella fire, man. You know, all Sonic music is like a 10 out of 10. All the soundtracks go crazy, they're tough. But beside Infinite's good theme, he's so ass. He's trash. Look, Infinite was ruined the minute he was revealed, man. First off, he's in the worst Sonic game of all time, I swear to God. The only thing that makes Forces a tiny bit better than 06 in my opinion is the custom characters and the gameplay. And that's saying a lot, considering that Forces levels only like 2 minutes long. Besides these two things, 06 is 10 times better than this slot. And Infinite is just a waste of what could have been one of the best Sonic villains of all time. His powers are cold, man. He has the ability to use the Phantom Ruby and literally warp reality. One of the most stupid powers of all time. He can change and manipulate the whole terrain and atmosphere you're in. Like, you see the whole lineup of villains in Sonic Forces? They're all his work. He made all of them. He could create a void called no space and trap anyone in there forever. There's nothing in there, it's empty. This guy was so broken, he made a whole sun that would have probably destroyed the entire earth. This guy was about to delete everyone. So we know he's strong. His design? Amazing. I thought he looked hella cool and he suited the vibe they were going for in that game. That whole apocalypse type shit, especially with his mask only having one eye. And yet with all of this, he's terrible. His powers and design may be cool, He's really just a good wasted villain, I'm not gonna lie to you. The whole reason why he even ended up gaining powers in the first place was because Shadow gave him a stage 1, cosmic, African level, humbling ass whooping. I'm talking about he got beats, fam. It would have left a mark on him. He got hit with that infamous kick that Shadow does every time he's fighting someone. He got finessed. Then because Infinite couldn't hack being weak, he just said to Eggman, "Bun it, give me powers." And boom, that's how he even came to be. And I saw somewhere too that he has a better backstory now, but you guys have to remember something. I don't care, because whatever extra backstory he has now got put in after Forces, so only a couple of people are gonna even know that shit. To most of us, his backstory is still garbage. Infinite was a really good idea, cool concept, and sick powers, but unfortunately, he was a 2-pack of ass, man. And so with that being said, we giving him a D rank. Blame Sega for that one, he's washed, bro. Now, you know, despite being from the worst Sonic game of all time, and I really do mean that, by the way, because the glitches are horrible, gameplay unplayable, and that one uncomfortable specific scene, you know what scene I'm talking about, man. But despite all of this, Mephilis is like the best thing to come out of it. You know, he made Sonic games look evil. He was like the devil in the hedgehog body. This guy was a demon. The minute he made his first appearance here, I knew he was a straight up fiend. Just look at the way he looks. He's got them eyes that cats have before they're about to get up to some menacing activities. And every time he spoke, he would just go off monologuing to people and shit. And it was kind of strange, because how can Mephilis speak when he has no mouth? He was always on some demon shit, man. It's weird. But that doesn't change the fact that Mephilis is tough as hell, man. He's cool, calculated, divisive, not to mention he's evil. The way he was manipulating Silver to go kill Sonic so he could make Elise cry was devious. He was pro-level instigating here. The man had no problem choosing the worst methods possible to do what he has to do, where his goal at the time was to join back with his other half, Iblis, and become Solaris. He was a smart guy. He also has a bunch of powers too, like time travel, shape-shifting, and being able to make multiple clones of himself to attack people with. All in all, he's a solid villain. Way ahead of his time for real. I still think he was wasted since Sonic 06 is known for being terrible, but the thing about 06 is that beside the couple things I mentioned earlier and some other problems it may have, the story in itself is actually some of the best ever done in Sonic ever. Mephilis' interactions with Shadow are where we see some of his best character development. Bear in mind, this game comes right after Shadow's game 2, where he struggled with identity crisis and was finding himself the entire game. And Mephilis in 06 tries to convince Shadow to destroy the world alongside him, but the GOAT Shadow was just like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. And then you just get that sick scene where you see him take off his inhibitor rings for the first time, and that shit was so gas, man. I was so hyped seeing this, bro. It's like Mephilis gave more to Shadow and other characters since he was a way worse evil. He made them look better. And of course, how can I forget that Memphis, Tennessee himself accomplished one of the greatest feats ever done in Sonic history. Something so ludicrous, something so out of this world, that he still to this day is the only man who's achieved this crazy feat. And that is Mephilis killed Sonic. He stabbed him right through his chest with an energy beam. Took his life in one go. And up until now, this is still one of the most shocking moments in Sonic. It's been 20 years and I still can't believe he did this shit. He actually killed the guy. The fastest thing alive got murked by getting shot in the back. That's crazy. But by killing Sonic in this moment, it made Elise cry, which in turn released Iblis, Mephilis' other half, which was part of his plan all along. Then with the Chaos Emeralds, he used their powers and his own to join back together into his true form, Solaris. A weird space falcon that controls time and space, existing across the past, present, and future. He's everywhere. He froze time in place. He put everyone in some sort of distortion. To even beat the guy in this form, it took the Triple S trio. Y'all like the nickname I gave them? All go to different points in time to fight the same guy one-on-one. Shadow in the past, Sonic in the present, and Silver in the future. Then to make sure he would never exist in the first place, Sonic and Elise went all the way back in time and blew out a candle of Solaris, meaning Solaris will never exist in the future, which in turn means Mephilis doesn't exist in the future. And then he came back in Shadow Generations and got whooped again. But now he's dead for real this time. Mephilis to me is definitely a Hall of Famer. Like, he's easily a top 5 Sonic villain in my book. He's cool, he's a demon, and he's the only guy who told Sonic to sit down. I think it's safe to say we giving him an A rank, man. He's tough. The final villain I have to speak about today is none other than the infamous Black Doom, an alien warlord responsible for commanding an entire nation of evil planet invading aliens called the Black Arms. And these guys are a bunch of demons, man. Their main goal is to go ahead and conquer different planets and basically take over. And you remember when I just said Mephilis was the devil? Yeah, I might be wrong, because this guy is Space Satan, man. He's evil. And real quick, even though he's technically not a Sonic villain, because he goes against Shadow, I'm still gonna count him anyway. This flipping demonic priest literally took less than 5 seconds to absolutely send the Earth into a giant shithole, bro. He wasted no time here. He was sending a bunch of aliens down, probably killed a bunch of people in the process, and started a wide-scale invasion. He manipulated Shadow's amnesia and got him to collect the 7 Chaos Emeralds for him. Then when he does that, he betrayed him and just teleported his whole ship to Earth. He moved it. Bro, Black Doom is so cracked that the black comet he commands releases a gas that paralyzes anyone who isn't a part of their kind. So he literally has the perfect tool to take over any world and finesse everybody. They can't do shit. And Gerald Robotnik, Eggman's granddad, couldn't have created Shadow in the first place without the DNA of Black Doom, the supreme leader of the Black Arms. The man even later goes on to manipulate white space, a void that has nothing in it in Shadow Generations, and created a whole different element of levels for Shadow and bosses he fought back in the day. He even made the guy relive some trauma by getting him to spend some more time with Maria and Gerald. Yo, Shadow's always getting traumatized up, man. It's sad. He even gained a new form while doing all of this too. He's demonic. If you wanted me to make a comparison here, he's basically a demon version of Eggman. But instead of robots and the entire Eggman empire, he just got a bunch of demons. And also, he does not care. He's a tyrant. He'll end the world with no hesitation. He might just be sick in the head. In my opinion, he's more evil than Eggman. Because at least with Eggman, he wouldn't morally just finesse the population and destroy the planet entirely, because he wants to control it. But it's more so that Game Eggman, yes, Game Eggman, because I know somebody's gonna talk about some bullshit from the comics, is as egotistical as Sonic when it comes to his rivalry against him. Eggman has had so many opportunities for world domination, destroying the planet entirely, or just killing Sonic, but has never committed to it. Whereas Black Doom, in his first appearance, immediately went straight to the business. And even though he lost the first time, he tried to run that shit back again. He was committed. And even Eggman was just as affected by the gas that paralyzed humanity too. So he would be just as cooked here in that scenario. The day we finally get to see a live action Black Doom, and I actually might just shit myself. Hopefully one day when we get a standalone Shadow movie, it's gonna be so peak, man, I swear. But Black Doom is truly a different level threat. And I thought for how short his appearance was in Sonic entirely, that his character design, motivation, and evilness was just cool to see. So for the first time in the video, my personal ranking, ladies and gentlemen, for Black Doom is an S rank. We giving it to him, man. He's going. And these are all the final ranks I'll give some Sonic villains. I don't know if I'll really commit to keeping any of these the same. Maybe I'll change my mind about some of them in future. Like Eggman could really be an S tier, you know. Nah, he's an A tier. I may do a part 2 to this one day. And remember, guys, at the end of the day, this is just my opinion. Except Infinite being wasted, you might have to agree with me on that one. As per usual, if you disagree with anything I've said or don't agree with the ranking at all, comment down below, man. I love you all. I appreciate you so much. And one more thing, this game is racist, man.